Linda liked the quiet. The morning light slipped gently through the curtains. The kettle hummed softly in the kitchen. Outside, the world was already moving, cars passing, neighbors talking, footsteps on the sidewalk. But inside her apartment, everything felt calm. Safe. Predictable. Linda wrapped her hands around a warm cup of tea and opened her laptop. Emails, messages, social media. She could talk to people without leaving the room. And in many ways, she preferred it that way. Because outside her door, the world felt louder, more complicated, more unpredictable. Inside her home, life felt manageable. But slowly, without noticing it, Linda's world had become smaller. At first, staying home felt comforting. After long days at work, the apartment became her sanctuary. No pressure, no awkward conversations, no crowded places, just quiet. But over time, something subtle changed. Invitations became easier to decline. Maybe next time. Walks outside became shorter, then occasional, then rare. Soon, most days looked the same. Linda didn't feel miserable, but she sometimes felt something else. A strange mixture of comfort and restlessness. Like life was happening somewhere beyond her walls, and she was watching it from a distance. Psychologists often describe this pattern through two competing forces: the sanctuary effect and the avoidance cycle. A home can be a sanctuary, a place where the nervous system relaxes, where the brain feels safe enough to recover from daily stress. But when comfort becomes the only environment the brain experiences, something else begins to happen. Avoidance slowly replaces exploration. The mind learns a quiet rule. If I stay here, nothing uncomfortable will happen. And while that feels protective, it can slowly reinforce fear of the outside world. Another factor is something called low social reward sensitivity. For some people, social interaction doesn't create the same strong emotional reward. Crowded rooms can feel draining rather than energizing. The brain simply finds more comfort in solitude. Linda often noticed that after social events, she needed hours, sometimes days, to recharge. Her brain wasn't broken. It simply processed social stimulation differently. Modern technology also changes how people connect. Linda could message friends, watch videos, attend meetings, and shop online without leaving her apartment. Psychologists sometimes call these digital proxies. They imitate social connection, but they rarely replace the deeper emotional signals the brain receives during real-life interaction. Tone of voice, eye contact, shared presence. These signals nourish the brain in ways screens cannot fully replicate. When avoidance grows stronger, the brain may begin associating safety with specific locations. The home becomes a safe space. Outside, environments begin to feel unpredictable. Even small trips can create anxiety. This doesn't mean someone has a disorder, but the brain may begin narrowing its comfort zone. The brain is designed for environmental variety. Different places stimulate different neural pathways, new sounds, new conversations, new sensory experiences. These keep the mind flexible. When environments become repetitive, something psychologists call environmental monotony can appear. The brain becomes understimulated. Motivation drops. Curiosity fades. Life begins to feel smaller than it really is. The goal is not forcing extroversion. It is restoring balance. Linda started asking herself a simple question. How much real social contact does my brain actually need? Just like food, the mind needs social nourishment, not constant interaction, but enough connection to stay emotionally healthy. She also began introducing small changes to her routine. Working from a cafe once a week, walking through a park instead of scrolling online, visiting a bookstore. These small shifts brought novelty back into her life. Another practice psychologists recommend is called the threshold exercise. It means stepping slightly outside your comfort boundary, not dramatically, just enough to expand it. For Linda, it started with a 5-minute walk outside every evening, then a short trip to a cafe, then meeting a friend for lunch. Each step gently widened her world. Linda also noticed something about her digital habits. She had been consuming content endlessly. Videos, posts, news. Instead, she began curating experiences, choosing meaningful activities, writing, cooking new recipes, taking photographs during her walks. Creating things stimulates the brain differently than passive consumption. Months later, Linda noticed something interesting. Her apartment still felt like a sanctuary, but it no longer felt like a cage. She still enjoyed quiet mornings, still loved evenings at home, but now her world had windows again. Small adventures, unexpected conversations, moments of curiosity. The outside world no longer felt overwhelming. It simply felt alive. Some people are naturally more inward-facing. They recharge through solitude. They think deeply. They observe carefully. There is nothing wrong with that. But the healthiest minds learn to balance sanctuary with exploration, safety with curiosity, home with horizon. Because a meaningful life is not about choosing between inside and outside. It is about allowing the mind to move freely between both. And when that balance returns, home becomes not just a place to hide, but a place to begin again.